At tonight's Republican presidential debate, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee have been relegated to what many call the kids' table. The two have been bumped off the main debate stage because of low polling numbers. Christie and Huckabee instead will debate other low polling candidates to be held earlier in the evening. One of those people who will not be there, however, is South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. The only presidential candidate in either party with military experience has been dropped from the debates altogether. The main event airs tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox Business Network. All the presidential candidates have views on the increasing student loan debt problem for going to college, but they also have many different ideas on solutions. Natalia Abrams from studentdebtcrisis.org is here to give us an overview on where they stand. Natalia, welcome to Arise Exchange. We had a jobs report out today, for example, that seemed pretty encouraging, except for the fact that young Americans are still not getting jobs, and they're loading up on the student loan debt. Can you give me a broad overview, because the candidates, there's a lot of them, on what their position is on this and the different ideas? Yes,
so at studentdebtcrisis.org, we are thrilled that people are talking about student debt. This is one of the first elections that every candidate has said saying something about student loan debt. But unfortunately, they're all focusing on the new student. So we hear a lot about debt-free college and tuition-free, a little bit about helping the existing borrower, but that's where we come in. We need to help the 43 million people out there.
43 million students.
43 million students have 1.3 trillion of student loan debt.
And how often do they default?
We have over 100 billion of defaults. And
$100 billion in defaults.
And 8 million people in default.
I was reading the notes and I was surprised to hear that the federal government appears to be in the profit-making end of this on student loans.
Yep, actually Donald Trump talked about this to the tune of $150 billion over the next 10 years. We don't really think of the Department of Education as a profit-making entity, but it is.
And because they're lending the money, they're charging the interest rates, or they're backstopping the interest rates. Is that how it is? And they're collecting
right.
Part of that?
It's just from the interest rates, we're at about 4% for undergraduate and about 7.5% for graduates.
What are the best ideas from the candidates that you've heard so far?
Well, we like Senator Sanders' plan where he talks about debt-free college. And
for debt-free college?
Well, I mean, when we talk about the 150 billion, there's some money there. And I really like that Secretary Clinton talks about the fact that we need to focus and crack down on student loan lenders because there's a lot of fraud going on there, and I really appreciate that.
And we also, and this administration has done it, crack down on online private institutions that have possibly been engaging in some fraud.
Yes, we have the for-profit colleges that have been engaging in fraud.
The Republican, John Kasich, has talked this up a lot and may not be resonating about what he's done in Ohio and talking about public service after school. Is that something that you would support?
That already exists. So we have public service loan forgiveness. If you work in a job for 10 years and you make 120 qualifying payments, your loans are forgiven. So that exists. A lot of the presidents are talking about candidates are talking about plans that already exist as if there's something new.
Why has this sort of, do you think, gotten into the American psyche now? Is it the parents that are feeling the pressure of their kids coming home, not being able to go out and rent an apartment because they're paying this debt?
Yeah, I think in 2012 we hit $1 trillion, and that big number just started to resonate widely with a lot of people. And we have the millennials are the largest generation that we've had since the baby boomers, and so we're sending more and more people to college. And yes, the parents are freaking out.
Do you think too many people are going to college? This is an ongoing conversation.
Yes, I don't think college is for
I think
everyone.
Mark Rubio is talking about vocational schools.
Yeah, and I think we need, well, with vocational schools, we want to make sure we keep that in the community college and not in the for-profit college. But yes, not everyone needs to go to school. Only people who want to should be able to go, but we've kind of forced this, just like the home ownership society, and it's kind of diluting education.
And do we need to look more at a European model where you sign up when you go to college and you have a career already in mind? Here, it's kind of like, just hang out for 4 years.
Yeah, but I think that defeats the whole purpose of college, which was to expand and enlighten you. It wasn't just about the ROI of your job.
Natalia Abrams, thank you. We're going to have you back as this conversation continues throughout the rest of the year. Coming up next, Hollywood's China Connection.